And oh, right, we are live. Oh, good timing, good timing. There you go. Now that's what I call punctual, baby.
Hello.
What are you looking for?
Looking for the volume. And there it is. I found it.
I think you found the auto tuner
Here's my
instead.
other volume. Secretary volume. Well, now I can hear you.
Yeah,
Wow, right on time. About 23 seconds into this.
exactly. That's what we like. That's how they do it
Saturday
at Fox
night.
News. That's how
That's
they do
how we
it
do
at
things at Common Sense News
CNN.
and Entertainment.
Okay,
Create more of these now. We're gonna fill the whole wall, just like on just the way Nesson does it.
I think this is getting interesting.
It is August 1st.
So yes.
Let me go online with Facebook though. We gotta make that happen.
Well,
Gotta make it happen. We're not quite as punctual.
let's go.
There we go. Here we go. I am fired up tonight.
Well, there's a lot to be fired up about.
There sure is.
Yeah, so I don't know if I should wait for Eric and.
No, we're not waiting. We're no waiting now.
All right. And I'll put it
right
now. You ready?
1. Welcome everybody. We're back another edition of Common Sense News Entertainment here with Court Rodnowski and Yankee T News. It is just past prime time here on Saturday night, the very first day of August 2026. And here once again for another adventure. And yeah, there is a lot to be fired up about tonight.
All right, so let's start with the fun one first.
I'm listening.
Where is Cueta?
Say who? What?
You don't know what Cueta is?
Oh no, I know nothing. I know nothing that you know. You are the exalted one. I am the Fifth Amendment specialist. So tell me, what's Cueta?
Oh, you're the fifth. Well, you got to be pleading the fifth there.
I'm pleading the fifth every time with you.
All right, well, let's put up the map and find out. Are you ready?
Cueta. Oh, I knew it had something to do with. Oh, that Cueta.
Yeah, that Cueta.
Yeah, okay, now I'm aware of it.
And what is striking about Cueta?
It's part of Spain, which people don't realize.
But
what?
It's not mainland Spain. It's a chunk of Morocco that's owned by Spain.
Wait a minute. How can it be isn't it just part of Spain?
Weird things like this happen. Remember, if you're looking at the
this is only 3 miles here between Spain
and the land sticking out in the Strait of Hormuz, for example. We think of most of that belonging to is it the UAE? But then there's a little chunk right on the tip of that land that's owned by Oman, and it's separate from the rest of the country.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, oh, geez, right. Well, here's another one. Okay. Okay, so what all this fuss, okay, was over these people invading this little piece of land that's actually a part of Morocco, but it's owned by Spain.
Part of Morocco owned by Spain. So who, if you get busted for DWI in Cueta, you go to the court of Spain or the court of Morocco?
That would be Spain. That's why they made it red.
It's good news for me because next year I plan on going on a Mediterranean cruise with my family. And I have been, and now that I've been to all 50 states, and by the way, I have been in all 50 states. I want to visit all 7 continents.
Well, why don't you go visit our possessions?
Well, Africa is one that presents a challenge.
Well, no. Puerto Rico, Guam, the Marshall Islands.
No, they're not part of the 7 continents.
I'm offering an alternative. Besides the 50 states, there are
Guam.
Yes.
And Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico.
Right.
What else we got? A lot of them. There's American Samoa, I believe.
That's right.
Right outside Australia.
Yeah, you should visit those.
I don't know. It doesn't turn me on too much.
Yes, it doesn't present.
It's not as Magellan, you know.
All right. Well, I would put in a strong recommendation for going to New Zealand.
Well, the two most. Well, I would consider New Zealand to be. What would that be? What continent would I consider that though?
It's not. It's an island.
Right.
Okay.
So what are the two? If you wanted to go to all 7 continents, what would be the 2 that would give you the most anxiety? For me, it's Antarctica and Africa.
Anxiety?
Well, like the most difficult, in my opinion.
Well, you'll have to talk to my wife about Africa because she did go to Kenya.
Okay.
She can tell you all about it.
I feel like I know that when you go to Africa, you have to take shots, and
That's right.
all those things bother me. And being, is that an American in Africa doesn't seem too safe. So I'm looking at Cueta here, Cueta, and that
Yes.
would be a chance for me to say I could been to Africa and
And
just go there real quick and then leave. It's like, okay, I did Africa. Let's get out of here. Well, okay, when I did the 50 states, well, I was only 11 years old when I decided I wanted to visit all 50 states. And I knew right away that Hawaii and Alaska are going to present the two most difficult things. And I'm saying here, Africa and Antarctica are obviously the two most difficult, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Antarctica, I would consider more doable. Depends upon what you want to do. There are vacations where you can work with the scientists.
I could do the scientist thing for a weekend or a week or two.
Oh, I think it'd be more than just a week, just to get used to being where you are.
Mm.
Right. So anyway, let's just meditate on this for a minute. Think of all the
What's this Alboran Sea crap? Come on, it's the Mediterranean Sea, will you, people?
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All right. Yeah. Archie Bunker never misses a beat here. So okay, we're all surprised by this. And so there's the other part of the story now that must be told. Yep. So something like 50,000 men, mostly.
Almost all men.
Yeah. And something like 60 of them died as a result.
That's a 3-mile swim from here to here.
Well, from wherever, but not to Spain. No, it was to Cueta. And now,
wasn't there some migration to Spain as well, or was it all Cueta?
It is my understanding that it was all Cueta.
Okay. I thought people were swimming across.
Well, I don't have a scale here, unfortunately, but I'd say that's more than 3 miles there between Morocco and Spain.
Well, I saw a news report that said it was 3 miles, but maybe it's. It'd be nice if we could compare that to the Strait of Hormuz, which is what 30 miles across.
Yeah.
Well, so geography and maps are fascinating to me.
Cueta.
It sounds like a perverted thing. I'm sorry, it just does. Hey, you got any Cueta today?
Right. So speaking of perverted, let me just check here a second. Nobody has checked in yet. What's the matter with these guys? Anyway, why don't I just...
I have a song for Eric when he comes in.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it now. It's not about the money. We don't need your money. We just want to have a jihad. Destroy the Western world. Ain't about the
wise guy.
Ain't about the bang. We just need the money to fund our jihad. Yeah. That's for Eric when he gets here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's for Eric. So Eric, invite sent. Come on, dude.
What is it that the Spanish government is doing about this? I know that they're apparently trying to.
Well, I think what they
stop it, but
you're going to love it. What they've done is essentially ignore the people. As a result, no food, no money, no nothing, and they've gone back home in disgust.
So the people, how many of these 50,000 people have gone back to Morocco? Most of them now?
Well, let's see. I want to see if I can find that news report here. There's so many other things going on. Okay, so the title is Hunger and Hostility Cited by Migrants as Reason for Return to Morocco from Spain's Cueta. All right. So it says here that more than 50,000 migrants rushed into Cueta from Morocco on Friday, resulting in at least 67 deaths. Migrants who swam or jumped over fences to rush into Spain's African enclave of Cueta this week were returning home on Saturday, with many saying hunger, exhaustion, and hostility from locals had crushed their hopes of a new life in Europe. Okay.
This story is silly. I'm sorry. This Cueta thing.
Yeah, well, it wasn't silly yesterday. Yesterday we were all affected and insulted and concerned, little knowing that this is what was really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just there's the old saying about news never gets the story right the first time.
Well, this gets to Eric's point a little bit. How media, you just can't really believe a lot of what you see, because I saw a story that involved people swimming across the channel into mainland Spain.
Yeah. Well, we
Obviously, that was
thought
a
it
BS
was.
story.
Yeah. Well, we thought it was mainland Spain, but it wasn't. Okay, if you take, I mean, take your pick, but I would say there's that little section there. I don't know if you can't see where my arrow is.
Details, I guess, right?
Yeah, but you can see where it's right close there to the border. I mean, to the lower right, in what would be the southeast corner there. Okay,
Oh, Spain, you mean?
the southeast corner of that little piece of Spain there.
Yeah.
They would have swam. They swam from the what is that butterscotch color part to the red part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, across that's the Strait of Gibraltar we're looking at.
No, that's not the Strait of Gibraltar.
Yes, it is. That's the point. That's the point between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. That's the Strait of Gibraltar. Where's the Strait of Gibraltar if that's not it?
Strait of Gibraltar is attached to Spain. Here, I guess I'll have to
waterway. The Strait of Gibraltar is a waterway, right, that connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea.
Hold on.
And you're looking at it on this map.
Gibraltar, which is owned by the British, by the way, is considered a strategic location.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here if I can get a map for it. Here we go. Yes. So the problem is it's off the map. So I'm going to do this. See if I can make this image for you. It'll just take a minute while I get this converted. And I think from this, you'll be able to see. All right, this is not going to be very good, but we're going with it anyway.
All right, let's do it.
So just give me a minute here while I. So Gibraltar. And as you know, the Rock of Gibraltar is considered the logo for Prudential Insurance Company.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
And it's somewhere near there. If that's not it.
Hold on. So, all right. So it's that. Bing, bing. And
presto.
Okay, hold on. So I'm still fiddling here. All right. Where did it go?
Oh, my cat's coming. Here we go. Here comes the wrecking ball. Oh, that's not my cat.
Computer. Upload the file. Oh, come on. It's almost there. Almost there. Come on. Yep, there it is. Open that, and while that's processing, we'll remove this. And as soon as it's ready, processing. Story of my life. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. Now, you got to look, of course, very carefully, and you'll see that from the other map that showed Cueta, it was off. Gibraltar's away from there. Okay, so it's not.
Where's Cueta's? What, over here more to the right, to the east more?
If you look at that tip of Africa there, okay,
yeah,
there's Morocco, and the part that we were looking at is just that little nipple sticking into the Mediterranean. That little nipple sticking in the Mediterranean is Cueta.
Okay, so that's very close, very close to Gibraltar.
Yes, but it was off. But it was
maybe slightly off the map.
Capture. So you get the idea.
But that is the Strait of Gibraltar right there. That waterway.
Yes,
it's called the Strait of Gibraltar.
Well, you can call it the Strait of Gibraltar, although they want to call it the Alborean Sea or whatever.
Yeah, that's not what it is. I think this little area, that smaller, narrow area of water to the east of the strait,
yes,
that's the Borean Sea or whatever, I guess, which is an arm of the Mediterranean Sea.
That would be to the west, actually.
It's like a big toe of the Mediterranean Sea.
All right, so here, let's remove this again. We'll
to the east, no, to the east, not the west.
All right, so here we go again.
Yeah.
So all right.
Okay.
So I think what you find if you look at the very tippy top there, and you see that little white thing sticking in,
that's Gibraltar.
That's probably Gibraltar there. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So there you go.
And that's to the east, the Alborean Sea, which is really just a bay of the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So now that you've had a geography lesson that you never got in school.
What does this mean for? This is a victory then for European security. The fact that these people turned back.
No, it's more like the old saying, a tempest in a teapot. Tempest in a teapot.
Well, like I've always contested, Europe is already gone, and it's sad, really.
Mm-hmm.
But we should talk a little bit about what's going on in our own country in terms of the influence of Islam, and the way they perpetrate and the way they unite themselves with communists, with our Democratic Party, and how it's a real threat, and then how we're not really fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example.
Sure.
Right now, in order to implement many of the policies you want to implement to restore America, we're going to judges for permission. And judges largely are the enemy.
Mm-hmm. No, wait. So what are these things that we're seeking permission for?
Well, all of Trump's policies, they're all subject to the review of the Supreme Court.
Well,
left and right, or different district courts. We hear about federal district judges shooting down many policies of the administration, and how we're just going to them and abiding by with their decisions and listening to them. And these judges are largely our enemy. A lot of them are imposters that are really enemies of the state that have infiltrated these positions, just like our media, just like our schools, just like many of our institutions have been perverted by this. And we're going to them for permission for things, and we're not really looking at it.
No, it's not about permission. It's about every time President Trump scratches his nose, he gets sued for scratching his nose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and the ones that are refereeing those lawsuits, the judges, are not necessarily being impartial judges.
Well, that's not entirely true either. He has ultimately won. I mean, most of them been through the Supreme Court, but he has won a number of federal circuit appeals as well. Yes, there are judges who are clearly biased, but there have been others who have ruled appropriately. And yes, you have to remember that from his first term, he did get nominated quite a number of federal judges.
Okay, so I guess we're lucky then that the level of corruption in the judicial system and the country as a whole is not as bad as it is, say, here in Connecticut.
Yeah, but it's still bad.
Yes. It's bad, right? But in Connecticut, it's worse.
Correct. Right. So who knows what we're going to see? I don't know if you followed it. Reese on the radio has been following this incident where this young woman shot two policemen, or a person, a man. Damn, I can't remember his name. This is one of the things that's really annoying about X. You know, I get these posts and then they're gone, and then you can't find them again. It's really obnoxious.
Yeah, you get the post and then you click on your home to click on your profile, and then you can't find the. I know what you mean.
Right. So I'm just trying to see if it pops up here, but it's not going to pop up. I can see. All right, so I should have read it.
Where an illegal alien killed two of our police officers. Is that correct?
Okay, so the problem is, so the individual in question, who I guess was wounded, went to the hospital, and I believe it was a police officer who checked his name, found his driver's license, and then went to the hospital because the name Ramirez is a common name, and confirmed based upon the picture on the driver's license that this was the same person. All right. Well, he confirmed it. In the meantime, though, the Secretary of State, forever trying to protect illegals, claimed that he got it wrong. And so now it's a battle over who's telling the truth and who lied.
Well, we know who's lying.
Yeah, well, I know who's lying too, yes. But therein lies the battle. And we'll just have to stay tuned.
We decided that we're on this. We decided that we really want to pick this fight with Chris Shea in terms of debating with the Barrows.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time. My problem is I'm going to be away from the 3rd to the 9th, so that's not useful.
Where are you going on? Are you going on vacation?
Yes. So my daughter Jessie and my grandson are joining us for a trip to Watkins Glen, to a little town called Ellicottville, and then we're going to a wedding with one of my in-laws' children.
Very nice. Very nice.
So that's the plan, and it will take up all that time. Meantime, if Eric was willing, because he's the one most graphically capable, this is what I would like to do: is make a picture of Chris Shea dressed as a clown. Okay.
Okay.
Since he doesn't want to debate DeBarros, obviously he's just clowning around.
And we also want to do a surrogate to come in and do the debate. Like
Okay,
a Saturday Night Live thing almost. We need someone who's a strong fighter, MAGA Republican, maybe a military guy that lives in the 5th District, to come down and kind of do a surrogate. And then we have the clown cutout surrogate to actually do the debate.
What I mean,
I got to talk to DeBarros about this too. And I think Eric's right. We should get him on here on our show.
Done quickly because time is.
We only have 11 days, not even really.
Yeah, it's not even. Okay.
But guess what? The last debate we had 11 days as well.
Okay, that's
Hold
all.
on.
That's all nice, but we still have.
I need John's endorsement. I want John to want me to do this, so I have to talk to him.
All right. So all right. I mean, I can only do what I can do.
I got him on the speed dial. I'll get in touch with him tomorrow morning.
All right. So you're talking about again setting up a debate, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we have to get a cutout made. Yes.
This time we must have the cutout because we don't have the second candidate.
All right. Well,
we're dealing with 2, not 3. You see.
Okay, but I would prefer that the cutout be of him made to look like Bozo the Clown.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So
he is a clown.
All right. So the point is, he's attacking John DeBarros because of his background, and I think we can attack Chris Shea because he's so ridiculous.
And let's be clear, he's not there to help win the 5th District. He's there to make sure we lose it.
That's for sure. The thing is, if you listen to some of these clips of Shea, he has no fire in his belly.
No.
He has no drive. He has no desire.
Not to mention that DeBarros has been at it for almost 2 years now. And where's Chris Shea been?
Yeah. Collecting money. That's where
money.
Been. That's it.
So yeah, he's no I don't know if he maybe he's a rhino, maybe he's not, but he's not the guy. Yeah, he's a rhino. He's pretty much a rhino, let's face it.
Yeah, if he's going to do the bidding of Ben Proto and not stand up for himself. And the other part here is he had plenty of time to show up earlier. He ran previously, and hardly, it's like came and went, who knew? But if he really wanted this position, he would have done what John DeBarros did, but he didn't.
It's funny how they keep talking about unifying the Republican Party and whatnot. Well, if I'm Chris Shea and I see the kind of momentum that John DeBarros has been gaining over the last year or more in Waterbury, I say, oh, way to go, John. Let me figure out something else I can do. What anything I can do to help here? You're doing great. That's real Republican unity, is it not?
No, John DeBarros is doing the hard work of building the kind of grass. I'm going to say it, okay? There is a need for what will be called the urban Republican movement, all right? Cities are where we're weak, and we need to do more to build up a Republican base in these cities. And he is the vanguard. He's the guy who's gotten there first with this. So
he's done more in that area than anyone I've ever seen in Connecticut in my political viewership lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has built the kind of coalition other than him in this state in the last 25 years? Nobody.
Yeah. So
yet we're getting in his way. The Republican Party establishment is getting in his way. Just that alone should tell people something.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So note to self. I've got to send you an email, my thoughts on this. Then you're going to talk to him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you'll get some indication from him quickly.
If he says go for it, then we're going to go for it. It's that simple.
Okay. All right. Which is that he's going to be there and somebody's going to be in charge of asking him questions. I guess that's going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, this time that's the one mistake I made with the last debate, with the gubernatorial one. I just kind of turned the questions over to them, and they asked. Honestly, the question was not great. So,
that's not what I heard. I heard
there were some very good questions and thoughtful questions asked.
Yes,
but the ones that weren't asked was the problem I had.
Yeah. All right. So the point is that it would take at least 3 or 4 days to get the cutout done.
Mm-hmm.
And the other question is, I mean, if we have to go with an ordinary picture of him, okay, fine. But I would really like to get the clown thing done. Make him
We
look
could do the ordinary picture and then put add-ons on it to make the clown a little red nose, and if we have to.
Okay, well, where are you going to get them?
Well, we better hurry up and
Gotta
think
find
it through.
Somebody has to know how to stick a red nose on a flat face.
True.
Okay. And then whether or not you want to dress them up with some kind of a wig or whatever.
We're probably going to have to go with just the regular crochet, the way it sounds to me. But who's going to be our surrogate, though? We would need a surrogate to come in that kind of looks like Chris a little bit.
Well, what are we expecting from this surrogate?
They would be basically the stand-in for his absence in the debate, and they would act like Chris and answering the questions like he would. Only would throw a little parody into it. You see,
well,
if he's not there. That person. Maybe I'll be the surrogate. Heck with it.
Yeah, well, you're too energetic for him.
Well, I have to act like him. Oh well, I met him in Coventry. I met him. Where did I meet him? At the Cadillac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very.
Well, you see, well, I wouldn't. I mean, when I met him, it was sort of like an ordinary conversation, but he's just no. This clip, and by the way, in that clip, when he was talking, the audience could not have been more bored.
Mm-hmm.
Down, not reacting, just kind of sitting there. Like, dude, is this how you want people to know your campaign? Seriously, it's pretty bad.
Hopefully some of them are thinking, "What are you even doing, man? Like, what are you even drop out? Will you let John do his thing, man?"
Yeah, right. The problem is, I don't get the sense that there is really. It doesn't mean. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping like this. It doesn't mean that the support isn't there, but I just haven't seen evidence of strong support for John. I have to believe it's there. My God,
it's there. Well, if you've been following him on Facebook, it's obvious.
Okay,
people. Okay. I mean, he's got the trailers coming in. He's got the inner cities going his way. I mean, and not just the inner cities. He's been at all the committees, all the RTCs, and most of them are supporting him. There are a couple stubborn ones like Southbury and Cheshire who are behaving like morons.
Yeah.
But Waterbury's been good for him, but then he kind of won over Waterbury, but now.
My understanding is Waterbury has endorsed him. Yes.
Well, no, Waterbury had virtually endorsed him, and he had it won over, but they've been doubling down on their brass in Waterbury, and since in the last 6 months or 8 months or whatever, they've now turned against him. Whereas at one point, like if you go back to last fall, say, he had a lot of momentum going in that committee and whatnot. And it's been compromised or because when I talked to him last fall, he was excited about the committee in Waterbury. Now he's telling me they're not endorsing him, like you said. So they've beefed up their corruption there.
All right, pay attention. Yes, the Waterbury Republican Town Committee has endorsed Jonathan DeBarros.
All right, see, now he finally won him back over.
Okay, that's
a big back and forth tennis match going on there in Waterbury, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So that just gives you evidence that you need to see that DeBarros is really taking on the tiger, man. He's really going for it, and he's not mincing his words. Mm-hmm. And if here's another thing, you know what they're trying to go on him, not just his past. Yeah, they're trying to go on him because he supposedly dishonors the military. That's what they're trying to do, to turn military veterans against him. Because the reason why, Shay's a military guy, right? Look, here's the point. Just because you've served our country, and thank you for your service, that doesn't mean when you get out of the service, you start talking political stupidity, you shouldn't be called on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're using to twist it and to try to convince people that John doesn't respect our military, doesn't respect our veterans. And all he's doing is calling out the crap of people that, no matter who they are, whether veterans or not, when you're talking, Josh Elliott is the guy, and you're talking crap. When you're a rhino, you're a rhino. We don't, whether you served in the military or not. What's the name of that congressman from California that was telling soldiers not not to obey the orders of the
Yeah,
president.
Mark Kelly.
Thank you, guys like Mark Kelly. Okay, yeah, Mark Kelly. Thank you for your service, but get
Who
the
has-
hell out of our way, you schmuck.
Yeah, who has been duly punished, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, really? What happened with him?
Yeah, he's been stripped of his rank. I think he lost his pension. I think something else happened.
Good.
So yes, it took a while.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what the kind of way they're twisting things on DeBarros. And as far as this thing about his past, there's something that happened in his past where he was involved in an altercation. He ended up getting
Altercation
for murder.
Manslaughter, and he served time.
That's correct, and it's also eventually been declared a matter of self-defense as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but of course they're going to
brought up now at this point. I mean, yeah. Listen, you're running for office. Anything's fair, but the bottom line is, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the issues. John is clearly a man of people.
People have to understand that Jonathan DeBarros has been upfront about his past from the beginning. He hasn't tried to hide anything. Okay.
That's correct.
Unlike a certain Aaron Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She, no courage. He has lots of courage. And if you want somebody leading you, you want him to have courage.
That's right.
Yeah. So another
That's
reason.
why we're going to do everything we can for DeBarros. So including go door to door for. I might even take some time and go door to door for him come October if he gets that far.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be on the roads. If I can send emails or make calls, me too. I got to get a note to him. I got to do something for him.
Well, we're going to try to get him on this show. I'll talk to him about that tomorrow too.
Well, good. Anything that helps. So let's see, what was the other part about this? I see we've gotten worked up about this.
I think we should talk more and more about the domestic threat that the far left and Islam presents.
Well, I'll tell you but from last night's discussion, I have become, shall we say, more sensitive to dealing with these surveillance cameras.
Tell me a little bit more about these Glock cameras or whatever they're called.
Okay, it's a company in Atlanta. They're not the only one that make these cameras, but they're supposed to be what you call license plate readers. But it turns out they have other capabilities besides being able to read license plates. And what you have here is a system, without your consent, by the way, which tracks you. And so let's say you're driving through Manchester at a certain intersection where these cameras are, and they'll get a picture of your license plate. It gets logged into the system. Now you've headed off to Hartford. You go by another flock camera. Another license plate rig gets your thing, and now they notice, hey, look, this guy had traveled between these two places in the last half hour or whatever. And then you go by another one, same story. Wherever you go, you get recorded. So your travel is being recorded. This is unprecedented, okay? And DJ Ricky was making the point that this is beginning to upset people in Milford. That's a start. In Killingworth, it was announced that the contract for this camera is going to be discontinued. So Killingworth, which had 3 of these cameras, they won't be up anymore. All right. In the meantime, in 23 other states, there have been cases where these cameras have been destroyed one way or another. Okay, and I expect
have they taken them down? Or are people coming in vigilantly? I think I heard DJ Ricky mention that there's some
vigilantly. New word, vigilantly.
Vigilantly, yeah. Or just on their own going out and taking these cameras down.
On their own, taking them down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vigilantes.
Okay. Well, we would never pretend to support vigilantism.
I'm all in favor of vigilantism if it's for the right reason. If it's to right or wrong, I'm always in favor of that.
Okay. So in the meantime, the flock cameras are just one small part of the problem. It turns out now that Milford has started to use these face reader cameras. But these face reader cameras are being used at the airports. And I think Amazon was trying to get Whole Foods to use them. And so this thing with face reading cameras, same problem. No. Now
they're going to track you not only in your car, but even walking around or where you're walking around and whatnot,
exactly. Too. At least that's how it's working right now in Milford. And so there is we have to make a lot of noise, speak up, put pressure on these people. This stuff is unacceptable. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's 2. Meantime, you've got the flock drones, okay, flying license plate readers. but you got to wonder how good they are. I mean, if they're flying, they claim they can read a license plate from 2,000 feet up. Okay,
That's
is
hard.
it really that stable? Is the image really that good?
Well,
And
considering the angle of where your license is, that'd be hard to do from 2,000 feet up. I
yeah,
would think.
so there may be some hype there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway,
And then we also have to let's distinguish between monitoring and recording. There's two different things.
yeah. Well, they'll lie. They'll lie about how
Well, I
we
guess,
were that for 30 days.
just to ease the mind of some of our more paranoid listeners.
Yeah, no, it's called no.
Yeah, you can't practically monitor where everybody's going. So I guess it's something where, like, if you're traveling around, like I'm somebody that would be a victim of this more than anybody because I bounce around the state. I'm all kinds of go different places, and I'm an investigator, so I'm not necessarily where I go shouldn't necessarily be on the grid.
It's not ironic.
The point is that
investigating the
I'll
investigator.
give you an example. DOT cameras, Department of Transportation cameras, are all over the highways.
Right.
And they do not record, they only monitor. In other words, if there's a camera showing the travelings up and down 84 in Southington, say for example, it's just showing that on a stream. It's not being recorded, in other words.
Supposedly.
Well, that's supposedly the policy. And they say it's because we can't record all that. Or it's being monitored. So, or even if it's being recorded, then no one's going back and watching all this stuff. So in other words, it's not like somebody's watching. It's not like there's another human being watching where you go. But again, if something happens down the road, they can go back and dial it up and bring it up again.
All right. Meantime,
how many
surveillance camera videos
have you? Don't get me wrong.
How many surveillance video cameras have you had to access?
Part of my job is to, when there's mainly car accidents, or sometimes other incidents, my job is to go back and see if any video captured that incident over the last.
Wait, are you telling me a traffic camera could capture a picture?
No, generally they don't. That's why I don't go to the DOT for their camera footage, because they don't record, they only monitor. What I look for is privately owned businesses or privately owned residences that may have surveillance cameras on their buildings that may or may not have captured the intersection or the road nearby. And that's really the basis of my source in trying to find these videos. And I do it with mixed success. Okay. Many businesses, now listen, most businesses, here's the bottom line. Most businesses have cameras. Many of them don't function. Many people, private residents and businesses, you go by their house, you see a video camera or some type of surveillance monitor, and they're telling you either the truth or they're lying to you, but they'll tell you that's just there for show. We don't really have any actual evidence to give you. It's just there to deter people. Okay, and that's common.
All right. Most
systems are motion detected systems, so they're not going to record anything unless there's something moving that triggers it to record. And then usually it will take those recordings anywhere from most of the time, a 7-day period or a 30-day period.
Yes.
Depending on what their system is designed for, what they set it for. Some will do longer and some do it shorter, but generally that's most industry standards of 7 days or 30 days. So now as far as police cameras, well, that's a whole nother thing. That's not something that's easy for us to find out about.
Yes, we haven't talked about these, what do they call them, sniffers that are used on cell towers. That's another whole other subject there.
That's right. Isn't this a Pandora's box, Court, that we're never going to be able to close?
Well, it's going to have to be closed, or the stuff has to be ripped out and the box has to be emptied.
Well, back when they invented the gunpowder and the gunfire, there must have been many people saying we got to get rid of these things, and it's just, how are we going to get rid of this kind of thing? How are we going to stop the?
No, that didn't happen until the liberals showed up.
Well, that's a good point.
Okay.
But they're here.
Before then, it was a normal part of life. So, in any event, so let's shift. Doofy DSA. Doofy DSA. I tell you, they really called out. Boy, Bill Maher.
Stupid ass hats?
Say what?
The dumb, stupid ass hats?
Yeah, those guys. It's amazing the comments they're being tagged on, and this is the moment where people in America have to remember there really is something called communism, and maybe they don't say it outright, maybe some do, but it's communism, and we better wake up.
We better wake up fast. And here's the point. Here's one point For all you people that are under 25 that are upset about inflation, about the high cost of housing, and the difficulty in starting a family these days financially, that is a legitimate thing to be upset about. But don't blame Republicans. Don't blame capitalists for it. Blame the people that are trying to sell you on socialism. You know why? Because the same people that are trying to sell you on socialism, communism, are the same people that are looking for open borders. And guess what? Those open borders are one of the major reasons why we have the inflation problems we have. When you flood millions of people illegally into the country, that creates that increases the demand for food, housing, and other amenities. That drives up the price, right? That is the cause of the inflation that you are so upset about. So if you think more socialism and open borders is the answer to your economic frustrations, then think again.
Well, I got something else to throw in here. What is the consequence of deporting a lot of these people?
Well, economically speaking,
yeah,
you're going to help control inflation by doing that.
And what else? You just
you're
mentioned
going to reduce crime, which is also costly on the economy.
You just mentioned it a minute ago.
Housing costs.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one.
That's the big one. That's part of inflation. But yes, the cost of housing will go down. The demand for housing rises with illegals flooding the country, and that artificially beefs up the price of real estate and makes it difficult to start your families that you young people want to start.
Newsflash. For the first time in a long time, and I'm talking at least 3 years, the real estate market in Connecticut has become what is called a buyer's market.
Really?
Yes.
Now, how recent was this? Now, this is your area of expertise. Within the last 6 months, right?
No, I'm going to say it just started. In other words, we reached a threshold. All right. There's a certain number of people who've left, enough such that the demand for housing has actually started to go down.
Oh, I see. That's going to help control the pricing.
So let me tell you the story. Okay. Typically, on any given day, there will be 20 or 30 listings, expired or canceled listings on the Connecticut market on any given day. New. Each day, a new expired or canceled listing.
And that's where somebody listed the house when it went through the term and then expired without the house being sold, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Are you ready now? Today, 110.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It was striking when I saw it. And so the question is it going to be like this tomorrow?
Well, it's funny you say that because I have a friend who is selling his house right now, actually.
Oh,
he put it on the market just about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
I was told that it was going to sell.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a closing. And then I drove by the house a week after the closing.
Yes.
The house was empty and there was a for sale sign out in front of it.
All right. So
something went wrong with that closing.
Okay. Hey, you're a part of my spy network. What's going on here?
Well, I think that there's something went wrong with that closing. That maybe the change in market might have resulted in they had initially offered a price higher than what they had asked for. Are you saying those days are kind of coming to a close in Connecticut? Or
what I'm asking you is whether or not he was even using a listing agent.
Oh, this is something. Okay, now I know where you're going. I had no control over what this person chose to do. Zero. So.
Well,
zero.
Is he using?
I didn't even know about it until a week before the closing. So.
Is he using a listing agent?
I don't know.
Okay, can I contact him?
I'll ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, ask him because
I'm having lunch with him on Tuesday, so I can ask him.
All right, well, let him know about my services.
I sure will.
Okay.
Sure will.
So anyway, so the Doofy DSA. What else? Here, let me just see if there's a couple other things to grab here that help move this along. I don't see anything leaping out at me.
I think in terms of this rise of the DSA thing in America, I think the time frame for debate in the area is narrow. We have to slam home the point. This is a garbage program and get everybody united against it and shut it right down politically. If we don't, and that time frame for doing that is narrow, maybe a year or two. After that, we're gonna have to go into a civil war to get rid of these people, and because they're not going to listen to regular. They have to be basically made so unpopular that they can't continue. Otherwise, they're going to rise to power. They do it. They do it by buying up cheap property in the inner cities. Is one of the ways they do it.
Buying who? Who buys cheap
That's
property?
how Arabs do it. It's one of the ways Islamic people take over countries is they'll go into the bad neighborhoods in the cities and ruin those neighborhoods, driving down the property rates, and then they'll use those low property rates to buy up the property, and then they clean it up. They kick the drug dealers out. They start cleaning it up, and then the residents go, "Oh, this is nice," but then now they rule the neighborhood. You see,
You
they
tell me
can't walk a dog through there anymore, and that kind of thing. This is what they did.
I'll accept that characterization for the time being. There's not a large Islamic community in Connecticut. I'd have to research
London
that.
County would beg to differ with you.
Who?
New London County is a large Arab population and growing fast.
In New London?
Rest of Connecticut, I would agree with you, but London County is really becoming
all right.
like
Well,
our little Minnesota, our little Michigan here in Connecticut.
Interesting. Oh boy. Is anybody saying anything about it?
Not too much, not as much as should be.
Yeah.
I
Well,
am saying something about it.
all right. So let me
Other
just.
people in our movement are aware of it.
Wait, I need you to stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
You going to stop?
For a minute.
That's all I need.
Okay.
If you recall, Eric was complaining last night about how nobody's really doing anything. This was especially in the context of the flock cameras. So he was complaining about the fact that ordinary citizens aren't. A minute has not passed.
Well, that's what you're saying. We're just talking, not doing anything about it, right?
Right.
Okay.
However, so here's the problem. It turns out that a lot of people in different segments of our society, both liberal and conservative, are being passive and not speaking up.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that's a problem on the left, but yes, on our side.
Well, it turns out it is. It is. There is an expectation that more Democrats would be pushing back against the DSA, and they're not.
Oh, okay. You're talking about moderate left-wing people. That's correct. Yeah, okay.
They're not. Okay, they're being passive.
Just like whatever supposedly moderate Islamic people are being passive. I don't think there's many of them, but the ones that aren't saying anything either.
Well, the point here is that we keep looking for people who are going to take action, stand up, make noise, set things right. But the point is, in other segments of our society, they too are being passive as well. Okay? Which, I mean, to me translates it as great. We have an opening too. We should be taking it.
Well, if you go back to the four-part grid you made earlier this year, where you have the lower left, all the helpless people on the lower left, and they just aren't going to do anything. That's probably 35% of our population right there.
All right. Okay, so then there was something else I wanted to interject here, if I can find it. Does the name Deborah Birx mean anything to you?
No.
Okay, but Anthony Fauci.
Yes, I know about Anthony Fauci.
How about Dr. Redland?
I've heard of him.
Okay, so you had the terrible trio, okay, when in Trump's first term, and these three people were the go-to people whenever it came to making public statements about whatever with respect to
national health,
COVID specifically. Okay. And so Deborah Birx would come in. So Redland was the head of the CDC, Centers for Disease Control. Deborah Birx is this person who'd been involved in AIDS stuff, and somehow she got pushed into the front. Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't like her. A lot of other people didn't like her, but she was in the spotlight, and so those who were oohing and ahhing over them continued to ooh and ah over her. However, ladies and gentlemen, she too eventually had to write a book. And guess what? In that book, she admitted that she lied to President Trump. Mm-hmm. She misrepresented the data, misled him on policy, misinformed him about the nature of the vaccine. Okay, she admitted to this.
But yet we're never going to hear about it anywhere except for here on CSNE, and that's about it, because the media is not going to own up to anything.
Well, I picked it up on X, okay?
Okay, well, social media to some extent.
Okay, so we're sharing it with other people, and it's just one more example of how these people were horrible. What's even worse, though, is you still have people who get out and say, "Oh, Deborah Birx was such a wonderful person. She's so honest and so forthright." And they don't realize that she admitted she lied. Okay. And there's another part to this story that totally blows my mind. Here's the problem I have. Okay. This is the part where I might have to accuse President Trump once again of a certain amount of gaslighting. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to take you back to the day when, as the vaccine was rolling out, President Trump kept boasting about how quickly we had done. It was a world record in terms of rolling out a new vaccine. How great. Only to learn out that all of that was actually a disaster.
He might have been sold a bill of goods too from his people like Fauci or whatever.
Yes, that's correct.
So Fauci enriched himself while people died and then lied about it. And told the public exactly the opposite of what he was thinking. And that's
however, all right, you're making a point, but it's kind of moving away from the point I'm about to make. It turns out, according to Ms. Birx, if she's having a come to Jesus moment where she tells the truth, that shortly, it was in March, I believe. I mean, very quickly, President Trump realized there was a problem, all right? When their dictums hurt the economy, hurt people's lives, as the story goes, there was a moment where he was alone in the room with Fauci and Birx, and I guess Redlin too, and he ripped them a new one, accused them of ruining the country, ruining people's lives, and that there was not much he could do about it at the time. All right. So again, there's a disconnect here in my mind, because President Trump that gets up in front of the camera talks about, oh, this great rollout and all the great things we did. But when the cameras are off, he's screaming at them for how they ruined the country.
Well, no, listen, now, wait a minute. There's no gaslighting involved there.
Yes, there is.
He's trying to put out the fire on one hand while he's yelling at the people that started it on the other. I don't look at that as any. There's no oxymoron there. No.
Yes, it's a very big oxymoron. How can you not acknowledge the destruction that was caused by them publicly? Why can't you do that?
I believe he did. I remember back then he went on TV and talked about how they were.
You're attempting to be a revision.
Or maybe he didn't have the evidence then that he had. Maybe he didn't have the evidence then that he has now.
Well, maybe. We know what he said. We know what tone he adopted. Okay. He kept talking about how great this whole thing was. Yet behind the scenes, he's calling it horrible. Which is it?
He's calling what they did to foment this virus horrible.
Right. Okay.
He's calling what his response to it is wonderful.
You cannot separate that from the.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
Coming up with a vaccine for a virus, criticizing what happened, and then praising your response to it are not. Those are things that can go together.
Mentally ill. Okay.
What?
Yes, mentally ill. You cannot be talking about something that's supposed to be curing disease, which is causing harm, and having policies that also cause harm, and then try to separate them somehow. Sorry. For me, that
wasn't Trump's policies that caused the harm. Trump is fixing it with the vaccine while criticizing Fauci for starting the disease.
He signed off on it. Okay?
Signed off on what?
The policies that hurt everybody.
Oh, you mean the shutdown policies?
Yes.
Yes, because he did that because he had no choice at that time. Like he said, there's nothing I can do about it right now.
He had a choice.
Okay. What could he have done? What would you have done differently? What would you have done differently? You were President Trump at that time.
Well, it's unfair to ask me that because I get to have the advantage of hindsight wisdom. All right.
Right, and that's my point.
I think in the context of hindsight wisdom, I would have said, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing the shutdown. And the other part here is that she lied to him about the test data.
Okay. Whoa, wait a minute. Blue state governors are shutting down their states all over the country, including Lamont. And Trump's going to get. Let's say Trump got on TV and said, "No, we're not going to do this. We're not going to shut down." The governors would have said, "Oh yeah, we are sanctuary. we're going to shut down anyway," and blah blah blah. It would have created a major constitutional crisis at that time. And as president, what choice did he really? I can understand the difficulty.
Okay, mind you, at the same time, Florida took a different direction
It's a
from
red
everybody
state,
else.
though. Some states are not going to going
Red,
along with it.
blue, whatever. The point is that there were policies promulgated by the. Let me think. Wait a second. What was it? Oh yeah, the federal government. Okay, that did this. All right.
CDC went out. Yeah.
Okay, you can have arguments about what direction the states could go in with respect to their healthcare policy, but you still had a federal healthcare policy, and we know that it was worse than screwed up people like Deborah Birx lied.
There was never
lied again.
Well, there was never a federal mask mandate. There was never a federal shutdown. There was never anything like that. That was all.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness, where have you been?
I never heard. There was a recommendation.
Okay, ESSER 3. Do you even know what ESSER 3 is?
What is it? Tell me.
It was the funding that was given, for example, to school districts to help them cope with, quote, COVID.
Shutdowns, right.
And the strings that were attached to ESSER 3 included the requirement that everybody get vaccinated and wear masks. Federal funding, federal strings attached.
Part of the federal bureaucracy. I don't think President Trump went and made that order himself. I guarantee President Trump himself did not do that.
It doesn't matter whether he did.
Part of the deep blue state.
It was a federal policy.
I don't think. I'm not going to accuse Trump. I'm not with you on the federal Trump gaslighting thing. I agree with you that there's a lot of contradictions. I agree with you on that. They were everywhere throughout there. I'm not going to put it on the lap of President Trump, though.
Who mouthed the contradictions?
Yeah, there are contradictions. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it all on the lap of the president, though.
Well, it doesn't all belong in there because the health profession potatoes as well. There are a lot of doctors who have to live down a lot of shame because they went along with all this nonsense.
And guys like Fauci,
a lot of guilty people.
And when a guy like Fauci that people look up to goes on TV and says these things that Trump knows that the population is going to go. A lot of the population is going to go along with it. I mean, this guy's look. If you want to call anybody the real Hitler of our time, it's Fauci.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Okay, and yes, President Trump was in over his head. Okay, a real estate guy. If there was any place where he was out of his element, it was dealing with health issues. Not his thing.
Not his thing.
So not good. Anyway, we need to get. We're running out of time, and we're gonna have to go with what? Iran's last gasp. What?
Let's hear it.
Okay, it's Admiral. Admiral, where did the Admiral go? There, Admiral. Let's see if I can find him. Give me a minute here. Let's see. Eric Swalwell is still in hiding. Let's see here.
Really?
Socialist candidate begging for money on GoFundMe. Let's see here. Election security, Iran, Burnham. Trump.
Just remember that, young people. Spread the word. For those of your parents, tell your kids if you want to start a family, you want to buy a house, then you got to support Republicans, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anyway, Math Superstar. Let's see here. Where did that go? Oh, darn it. It's got to be here somewhere. And in the event, what happened? So we have this, I want to say Admiral, who has come out and basically suggested that the Iranian military is really on its last legs, and that the attacks that we've been running have put a serious dent in Iran's drone and missile capabilities.
That's great. And the recent pause is only a couple days old. Apparently, going to resume again this weekend. So, where I was looking at, I should have grabbed it. That's so stupid of me. Let's see here. Doubt it. No. I guess we'll know when the strikes stop. These random strikes around the area stop happening somewhat, right?
Say again.
I guess we'll really know when these random strikes that keep hitting Lake Jordan and these different areas sort of slow down or stop.
Well, slow down or stop.
What's the true silence? Once these answers kind of slow off or die off, you kind of know they don't have much capability left, I would imagine.
Right. Well, I think that this is a reasonable expectation. I don't think we've necessarily seen it. They keep, boasting that they're going to attack these other countries. And
what's going on with the Red Sea? I know there was a couple of strikes that happened in the Red Sea last week, and I wonder if that's calmed down.
The Red Sox?
Red Sea.
Oh, Red Sea.
The Red Sox are a whole other subject, but the Red Sea, yeah, Iran is threatened to, and my understanding there was one or two strikes that happened in the Red Sea there last weekend, at least, and I'm wondering
Yeah,
Trump
well,
came down hard on the Houthis over. It was the Houthis that were portraying that, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think if I was a Houthi, I would be having serious second thoughts of any kind of attacks at this point.
Yeah, trying to expand the war scope, I guess, which is what you would do, I suppose, if you're desperate.
Yeah. Here, let me just take a quick look. I mean, not that it's going to be that helpful, but so I mean, again, I just have to mention Tausi TV. People don't know that Tausi TV is now migrating from from being based in London to being based in Florida, and they're still in the process of getting set up. So we haven't gotten,
Yeah, they're probably aware of the way Europe is falling to the far left as well.
We've been covering that all the time. So, okay, so Saudi Arabia raises concern over possible Iran strikes. We're aware of that. Jordan tells Iraq it will respond to militia attacks. Okay, and that's the other wacky thing here. To have these Iranian-backed militias operating from within Iraq, this is crazy. But it's another example of yet another proxy that the Iranians are trying to prop up. But this has shown up, like a dollar late and a day short. It's just,
I think these are acts of desperation. I don't think
they're $8 short. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and so Iran ramps up threats to the Mideast or for the energy sites. We'll see about that. It's called We'll See. This is so. Let's just take this moment and just do a little bit of conjecture here. Okay, the conjecture is, if I was in Iran's position, wait, who's this? Eli Ben? Yeah, where's your buddy? Where's your buddy, Eli? What's the motive for promoting this talk about recent Middle Eastern conflicts? The issue Israel as a whole, or is it the Benjamin? What?
Oh boy!
What? No. This is try again.
Israel is largely my understanding is that Israel is largely
right. Am I all right? Now Ricky shows up. Now he's got to talk about his buddy here. Where'd you go? Come on, there you are. Hey, Ricky, what? Are you in bed?
Yes, I am. But you called, so I said, "Oh, okay."
Oh my goodness, what are we doing here?
He said, "Where's his buddy?"
Boy, this is real news. Common Sense News Entertainment live instead of our best reporter.
Okay. Hey, this is cinema verite at its best. It's almost like, it's a black and white thing, the French cinema verite. You just about got it there. Okay.
Hold on.
Or cinema noir. Is that what they call it? Yeah, it's okay. Wait, so you haven't been tired? Are you okay? What's wrong? Are you sick?
Hello, boys. Getting me right from the bedroom.
Are you dressed, for God's sake?
Yes, I am. I still got my cold shirt on.
Are you? No, but are you okay?
Yeah, dude. Sometimes somebody's got to sleep. Sometimes.
10 o'clock at night.
I didn't know that.
I'd say he's setting a very good example, and I would do well to follow it.
I'm going to check out, and I'm with that one.
Get some rest every once in a while,
Oh yeah, no, if your body.
I missed most of the show. I just clicked in on YouTube, and then I saw you type something, and you called me out. Boom, here I am.
All right. Well, thanks. In the meantime, the timing is interesting because Eli just checked in at the last minute. Although I don't quite understand his comment. I'm just going to read what he said. What's the motive for promoting this talk about recent Middle Eastern conflicts? We're not promoting anything. We're just talking about it. Is the issue Israel as a whole, or is it Benjamin Netanyahu? Well, I don't even think he even mentioned Israel.
Israel's not even involved in this.
I think Israel. I think what he means is Israel is the problem.
Oh, for God. Israel's not the problem. Listen, I'm going to check out, you guys. GG
right.
Ricky.
99.
Take over.
See you, Jason.
All right. Goodbye to everybody. For those of you on Common Sense News Entertainment, we'll see you soon.
I got to make this quick, though, Court.
Yeah, that's fine. So, I mean, the only point I want to make here is a comment like Eli seems to ignore the fact that they're the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, and now we're finding out about these Iranian-backed militias operating out of Iraq, attacking Jordan. Okay, so wait. So what's his question again?
I think he's saying maybe we should be talking about Israel as a whole. That maybe that Israel is the problem in the Middle East. I think that's what he's referring to.
And we're supposed to ignore Iran.
Iran's been there, Court. Iran has been there for long before Israel was put there from the English bankers.
I think we have to take a broader look at this thing here. In that, okay, the borders of what we call Persia has shifted over the years. Okay, they've been through many wars. There is this thing called the Persian culture, which has endured throughout this time. But this thing called the nation of Iran is itself relatively new. Okay, Persia's been around.
How long has Iran been there versus how long Israel's been there?
Iran, I'm pretty sure.
His name is Court, not Courtney. Courtney's a girl's name.
Yeah, Corthell. Let's see here. Let's see. When was the name Iran created? It was like the 1920s, I'll bet. Let's see here. No. This is 1935. 1935 is when the name Iran was created. Okay.
But what was everything that was there? When did they start putting these borders up?
The borders?
Yeah, the people were already there.
First of all, we have to understand that Iran, what we call Iran, is a very multi-ethnic country. You have the Kurds, who've been fighting for the longest time for their own country, which occupies the northwest corner of what we call Iran. You have the Azeris, who are next door to the Kurds. And then you have this other significant ethnic group that makes up the, it's still the, what do you call it, the western part of Iran, right up against the border there with Iraq. Then you have the Balakis in the south east, okay? Then you have the Persians in the middle, and then you have there are even Arab enclaves in Iran, for crying out loud. And the Arabs and the Persians hate each other, but they have Arab enclaves in Iran. So it's a complex mess. That's what it exposes the Greater Israel Project. I think, quite frankly, since they've been called out, the Greater Israel Project ain't going anywhere. Okay. So
I think that's all part of
maybe part of the
World War I, II, III.
Okay, 3.
Oh yeah.
I thought we were already in World War III.
No, well, it'll be complete.
Oh, and by the way, has anybody written the book yet?
What? Yeah, Albert Pike did.
No, not this book.
Where you going with this, Court?
The title of the book is Building 7.
Oh yeah. There was a third building that fell in New York.
Yes, and there are certainly a lot of
and it fell at 13 seconds.
Oh, more than that. Jeez.
No, come on, guys.
No, do you
Look
remember
at who owned that building? Those buildings. Larry Silverstein. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So all of this said, there are some unanswered questions. Yes, and I think the hint.
I sure wouldn't want to be in that LA building he owns out there in California now.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Benson, I have read the Greater Israel Project. It was created by this Herzl guy back in the late 1800s. And he made a map then, and they're still holding that same stupid map where they take part of Sinai and Egypt. Yeah?
Have a good night.
All right. Good night,
Michael.
Michael.
See what Eli's writing in the chat.
Yeah, he said, Court, I'd read into the Greater Israel Project. All right. I don't know. Should I discount the Wikipedia account of it?
Wait, can't you flash the chat underneath us from from the feed?
How?
I can see what he's writing.
I can just read what he's writing. Okay.
Okay. Either which way. I'm just saying.
Okay. So then he says that was exposed as deception by the Greater Israel Project. I just, dude. Okay. We know that Netanyahu actually came out and said, yes, he's in favor of the Greater Israel Project. That was a public statement by him. Okay. So there are no secrets here. Meantime, other people are looking at it. Even Steve Bannon has said, no, we're not supporting the Greater Israel Project. I'm not supporting it. What the hell? All right. So,
I don't trust a word any politician ever says, but hey, that's just me.
so okay. I'm just
It's
trying
weird talking to you from my bedroom.
You know what? You're right. You probably need to go back to sleep. You're right.
Oh, I have a big show tomorrow, so that's why I'm like in bed, because I gotta get up at 6 and
Yeah. All right.
I gotta.
I'm going to sign off with a response to Mr. Benson here.
All right. I will catch everyone either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
And, for those of you who want to come and see a really cool show and talk to me, I'll be at Walnut Beach in Milford tomorrow.
Okay. Also, I finally got to listen to the Low Darts.
What you think?
Well, they're young.
Yes, they are.
All right. The lead singer is very cute. Yes.
Which one? The girl or the boy?
Yeah, the blonde. The girl.
She's not in the band anymore.
Oh, what happened?
She finished college and went on to go do whatever her profession was.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay. Well,
all the kids are still outside of that, though. All the original kids are still in the band now.
Yeah. So the thing is, so I just listened to a few songs, and maybe they were just warming up. But my question to you is, how edgy can Low Darts really get?
How what?
Edgy.
Edgy meaning what they play?
Playing with intensity, playing hard.
Yeah. You ever get a chance to see them live? And what I like about it is, they come in with a real brass section. They got a sax player and a trumpet player too.
That ain't what they call rock and roll.
Oh, it's music though.
Yeah. Okay.
I call it solid gold.
Okay. Well, I mean, all right. So
remember those records back in the day, Court? The solid gold records.
Well, not just that, but
who put that out? Was that K-Tel? I think it was K-Tel that put those out.
Okay. But we get used to, our favorite rock and roll band doing rock and roll, not playing with an orchestra, not having strings in the background, not having a flute, for crying out loud.
Oh, who's that? Are you going after Jethro Tull?
No, he was able to get away with it. The others, not so much. Yeah. Who was that guy who kept playing the flugelhorn all the time in the 90s? I can't remember his name.
Kenny G.
Yeah, Kenny G.
That dude wrote some hits for a lot of bands.
All right, I believe it, but still, I don't know. And then I was listening to this tape. Ricky, how do you say his name? Ricky Beato?
Rick Beato.
Yes. And so he was doing a thing on the Beach Boys, God only knows. Very interesting. Yes.
The Beach Boys, the Beach Boys were the Beach Boys for the Beatles. Let's put it that way.
Well, and we also know that the Beatles loved the Beach Boys.
The harmonies. I do. I don't want to get into it too much today, but I do believe that there was some CIA and all this music. Same with Jim Morrison. We all know about this. Nothing new.
You just can't enjoy the music.
I enjoy it. Just be careful. It can brainwash you. It can MK Ultra you.
Into what? A frog?
Your mind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are they trying to turn my mind into jelly?
No. Program your mind. Just a different way. Subliminally.
To murder people? I don't understand.
No, not to. I've looked into it. I just didn't really pay much attention to it.
All right. Yeah. This is an example where these ideas just really do kind of go off the deep end, because they don't stand up to logic.
Hey, sometimes it's fun to play in the deep end of the pool, Court. Come in. Come in. Can you swim?
All right, here we go. Discography, MK Ultra official YouTube, mkultramusic.com. Okay, we'll have to check that out later.
All right, Court. I'm gonna run because I do have to get some rest. I had just woke up. My wife came in and was like, You staying in bed? Are you getting up? Are we going out? Or I'm like, I got to get some sleep.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, let me see if Court's on. And I just clicked on the YouTube.
It worked. It worked.
So I'll watch the replay and see what you were talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Was this you and Jason all night?
Yeah, Jason and I were getting into it at some points. So
All right, well, I'll check it out and make a couple of notes here and there, and we can talk about it the next time I'm on.
All right, later.
Good night, Court. Good night, everyone. Good night, Eli.